Welcome back to the new professional StarCraft 2, where I am incredibly excited to introduce, in the bottom right, in the red, one of the best Protoss players in the history of the game. It's the Shield of Fire. It's Stats, a global finalist, and so much more. But, speaking of more than a global finalist, a global champion. It is the reigning 2023 champion. It's Oliveira, a normal man. Perpetually the underdog, but with the greatest story. Goes up against one of the most storied players of all time. A best of 3 TVP from the Kung Fu Cup. As these two will duel it out. Stats has been back for a little while, but he struggled to break back into that top professional level that we kind of expected from it. It's a volatile time for Protoss especially. And Oliveira, while he's incredibly good still, struggles a little more, especially in the Terran versus Protoss matchup. And there's one more thing that I struggle with, which is finding a new and original way to beg you to like and subscribe. So, Jimmy, what 1,160 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another series. And honestly, I don't know what else I would do with my life, so I'll probably do it anyways. But you didn't hear that from me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far. And hopefully, it's about to get a little bit better. Golden Aura is the map. Stats called the Shield of Fire. It's pretty self-explanatory, but, I mean, we're here. Got time to fill, at least a little while. Let's see if he has adapted to the new Cyclone. But, because one of the most stable Protoss has always felt... about as shaky as that Adept Micro, but it's always felt like you're pulling another card out of the deck. Like, a lot of people might even call you a joker, but at the end of the day, it becomes easier and easier to adapt to a Protoss strategy more often than Terran or Zerg, even if you know it's coming. As those power units, whether they're Colossi, Disruptors, occasionally High Templar, sometimes Carriers. These are units that are very strong, but relatively easy to counter if you know they're on the field. Unlike, in many opinions, the new Cyclone. Cyclones here, and any unit that isn't a Stalker is really going to struggle to deal with it. You can go Stargate early. Shield Battery Overcharge should be enough. 2 Cyclones from Oliveira will force another Stalker out. Shield Battery Overcharge, though, well placed. And I love the positioning on the gateways there. Snipes off one. He even dips back into the Overcharge. And that will, well, those Cyclones do have bonus damage against the Stalkers. The battery's out of energy, and oh my god. Who's the Stalker now? The Cyclone locks on and just absolutely murders him. Stats with some very calm and controlled micro, but it wasn't enough to deal with those early clones. But when you go for 2 early clones, and Blink is now finishing up for Stats, that means you got a lot of map control now. He lost one, he traded for the Stalkers, but Stats is correctly recognizing that Oliveira can't be following this up with anything particularly aggressive. He's going to get his 3rd Nexus up. He's going to poke and prod at the front. Robotics facility is on the way. But if you go for multiple Cyclones, it's probably not super quick with a Mind Drop. It's unlikely to be a big bio play, at least immediately. He's even got the defenses ready for a potential likely Mind Drop follow-up. But Stats already locking things down. And very importantly, while he lost the Stalkers, he didn't lose the probes. A big part of setting up your base, or a big part of being a solid defensive Protoss, is setting up your base correctly. You can't float those gateways over to the right spot. You can't lower the pylons into the ground, because Protoss don't get that sort of technology. Making sure you have pylons in a place that you can... well, pylons are the powerhouse of the Protoss, as you know. But it's so easy to set them up in a way that ends up screwing you over later. So I'm interested to see how Stats sets... Just like Oliveira setting up these depots now, I might be attributing a bit much to... Well, a lot of players have been setting things up to defend against charge lot warpins. Like the edge of the main, just quarantining essentially your mineral line when it comes to the Warp Prism, potentially later on. Well, stats. Very importantly, Oliveira did not see the timing of the third. Okay, there's an observer here. You may actually realize that. It's pretty obvious if you do a little... By the way, just a quick pro tip in there. You might see some players do this if you're ever watching a stream or looking for vision. If you do this, it actually makes it look like it's moving. Whether or not it's in siege mode or not. So it gives you that little bit of extra ability to see if there's an observer there observing you. But of course, at this point, it's quite clear what's happening. There's combat shield. There's +1 finishing up. There's 2 medevacs. There's siege tanks. It's the triple threat timing here from Oliveira. And we'll see if stats can be in position to defend both the double drop and the main attack. He's got a Colossus. He's got charge done alongside Blink, and he's finishing +1. Who doesn't have vision of the medevacs, but he's moving Stalkers into position to deal with it. And a beautifully placed observer actually saw the main army retreat here. I'm getting super excited about an observer, but this observer here allowed stats to commit the rest of his army to dealing with the medevacs because he knew there wasn't something about to hit his third. So, yes, I'm gonna latch on to every little detail here. Yep. Really? Really, Oliveira? Well, this is a bit sad. He scanned the observer, but it got away. We should probably nerf observers again. Wow, that's a bit embarrassing. All right, that's, He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar and he didn't even get a cookie, which is just sad. Yeah, the scan spots it, and then the observer just repositions. Stats setting up better and better vision, but here comes a mine drop. Colossi burning through it. Deals with 3 out of 4 mines. There's still 1 inside there. But no stalkers to deal with this. But start to look at the vision here, as stats methodically sends out units to narrow down the options. That was the only area of the map he didn't have vision. Clearly trying to set up his defenses well enough, and Oliveira's forced back. Oh my god, the little glitched pillar here. There's some visual glitches. I think occasionally units can actually get high ground vision, which is a bit of a concern, but haven't seen it used in a meaningful way yet. Now a second robotics facility, a Templar archives, a Warp Prism speed, +2 ground weapons, as well as +1 armor here. So a bit of everything. All the goodies for stats. Ghosts on the way, Vikings for Oliveira. He's got 57 SCVs, and he's going to finish 1-1 here. I believe he finished in Armory. He did, which means Widow Mines will remain cloaked if there's no detection after firing, as well as unlocking the 2-2, of course. And if he wanted to go Hell... I don't know why he'd go Hellbats, but, like, technically you could go Hellbats now if you'd like. Colossi working their way through. And the War Prism is heading in. War Prism speed is done, and there's no defenses against the charge lots in the main. He's going to drop them right in. And this is the kind of stuff that can severely undercut a Terran's efforts. Another wave is warped in. Widow Mines will undercut a handful of those zealots. But is there enough to actually attack forward? Warp Prism getting chased. He may recall it out. He gets to the corner. And so far, good enough. Viking even hits the deck there for some reason. Oliveira loses 11 SCVs. And gets nothing in return. Stats got... What? No, it blends in with the red water over there. He didn't see it. It's essentially cloaked. A scan for an observer? Nope, the observer's out here. The same observer, by the way. Stats has not lost an observer. That's 2 scans for observers. DT blank. Stats is comfortably filling in the rest of his tech here. He's gonna go up to 12 gateways. Oh my, the DT blink already upgrading. He didn't commit to a potentially fatal attack that had a high probability of being mediocre at best, but instead is just kind of... his intent is to contain Oliveira. Whoa, watch out, watch out, watch out! Did the Warp Prism come in or something? No, he's just looking the other way. Disruptor shots just kind of lackadaisically connect. Meanwhile, back into the main. I can't believe this War Prism is still there, and I'm sure Oliveira's not happy about it either. The main attack, Colossi in hold position, forcing the Vikings to move up. A few EMPs, Vikings deal with the War Prism. But Stats is looking to press the issue. He does not want that 4th base to get up. That's when the Terran starts to get so much money that you really just need to outright beat the army, which is something incredibly difficult to do. Right now, Stats is leveraging his superior economy and map vision. If Oliveira gets the 4th base, another scan. If he gets the 4th base in a timely manner, which would be, well, pretty much now. We're 11 and a half minutes in, actually. It's been a tense game, but the expansions have been relatively slow, besides Stats' 3rd. Infantry weapons level 2. For our Terran friend. 2-2 is already done for Stats. He's got 3-3 started up. Plus 3 ground weapons. About to complete, actually. Shadow Stride done. DT Blink. There's a bunch of disruptors at the back there. Honestly, Stats the first Protoss player I've seen. Even though the disruptors cost 4 supply now, as opposed to 3, which is a nerf. As well as being more visible, their actual size, their physical size was increased. Not the radius of the Nova, but the radius of the disruptor itself, which makes it easier to spot and see which ones are on cooldown, which have that lit up core there. So, but Stats is the first player I see really spamming them out like this. I'll have to with the charge lots. Gotta be careful of their own disruptors. The Vikings closing in. Another fadeaway shot. That one finds an okay connection. Vikings knock down the rest of the Colossi. Another disruptor shot curves in, looking for more. And the Zealot count is high enough. Starting to be whittled down, but a good connection hits the back line there. The disruptors themselves being popped. He recalls out. Oliveira takes out all but one. Tell your friends what happened here. But unfortunately for Stats, the disruptors did not connect well enough. And that means Oliveira takes a potentially decisive fight. Stats unable to equal the strength of the Terran army. But he will have the economy to rebuild. What does he do with it? Jimmy, can we stop bringing up a bunch of menus? This is not EVE Online. 12 gateways, 2 robos, and he's continuing to build disrupt. He's not even bothering with the Colossi here. Oliveira adding in double Liberator, more Widow Mines, ship weapons. He's taken his 4th, but he's not out of the woods yet. In fact, he's barely entered. A scan spots. I think Oliveira is severely underestimating the speed at which Stats has expanded. Feels like Oliveira is reacting to 1 or 2 bases. Like Stats has 1 or 2 bases less than he currently does. Oh, Shadow Stride DTs. No repair from Oliveira means that the orbital just in time, not the orbital, the planetary will barely be saved. The Stalkers will be taken out, the Widow Mines will connect, and Stats is being hunted down. Disruptor shot gets an okay connection, but okay is not good enough when compared with the strength of the Bio army. Stats he's playing pretty carefully. He's not playing timid. It's an aggressive defense. He's trying to put as much pressure on as possible. He almost gets the base, but there's no seeing those Widow Mines before you blink in. And that means Oliveira is going to be able to get yet another base, and Stats is battered back down yet again. He's lost 9 disruptors, 3 Colossi, 11 DTs now. The Liberator's covering here. Oliveira very comfortable in the late game. Stats is going to the full Zerg. It's essentially Zerg lots here. As he's decided, well, quality units aren't doing it. Maybe quantity will be enough. As it has a quality of all its own. The EMPs on the back line, trying to stay out of disruptor range. So far succeeding. Widow Mines cut off the edges here. And Stats realizes he's kind of working his way up into a concave. Blinks in. No planetary yet. Widow Mines connect, kind of curving a meandering path for the Ruptors. Gets a decent shot. Looking for more. The planetary finishes, though, and Stats. Everywhere he turns, the Terran army seems to be firing at his back. Liberators blinking in more Stalkers. Widow Mines recharge. More and more and more. The Zealots coming in again. Stats is sitting on 76 probes. 14 SCVs down. Zealots zoning out. Widowmines connect again. Stats down to 100 supply. Oh, the Shield of Ire becoming... Well, he's gonna get battered back onto the defense here, as he's lost so much more gas and a lot more minerals as well. 16 gateways. Stats. Well, he's given up almost entirely on anything but Zealots, not Zerglings, though, for all they're doing. He's warping in potentially 32 supply per wave. His income right now does support that to an extent. He can warp in about 32 Zealots a minute. Warping in 11 more. And Oliveira just doesn't quite have the critical mass of units. He hasn't gotten Caduceus Reactor or Advanced Ballistics. He hasn't gotten the Fusion Core for all those fancy upgrades. Now he's starting to scan the corners like, okay, wait a second. Well, Stats, we're not so far into the game that Stats is mined out of more than his main. Blink Stalker's heading in. Another wave here. Are they dead? There's 2 disruptors. He fires off a shot. Somehow manages to miss everything. Another shot. Maybe just gets the Widow Mine. Zealot zoning out. Stats' supply dwindling yet again. But he's getting more and more SCV damage done. Which is a nice way of saying that didn't do very well. Zealots continue to stream it. Oliveira micros back. The Ghost not so bad against Zealots as just an auto-attacking unit. Disruptor shot. Settles for the Widow Mine. Another Disruptor recharged. Fires off the shot. Clips a couple Marauders. Zealots charge in, but a bunker behind the mineral line actually draws their attentions. Widow Mine takes out a Disruptor on the way out. A lot of value there. Stats is, yeah, Oliveira's struggling. Well, the Disruptor is taken out at the forefront of everything. And so many Zealots. He's lost 150. A Liberator Siege is up. Stats just... Oh, he's given up on anything but a handful of Disruptors trickling across the map and mass gateway units. He's still at 16 gateways. I don't think you're ever going to get the income for much more than that, especially at the rate he's expending these Zealots. Oliveira just keeps scanning. He just keeps looking on the minimap like, okay, all right. If I keep going like this, is it going to be okay? And at this rate, yes. He just started +2 ship weapons for his Liberators. Does he have any Liberators? Yes. They're probably overwatching his I have no idea where the Liberators went. Well, where are they? Oh, you gotta be careful. They don't even show up on the mini-map here. Anyways, the Disruptor count has grown yet again. Liberator, ooh, okay hits. Another shot. That one canceled. Another okay hit. Another shot. That one hits nothing. But the most dangerous force fields, the Liberators. The Widow Mine hits again up here. It just keeps firing. Disruptor shot. Dangerous force field. Oliveira actually was forced away from this, or did he lose it? Was that's the first base he actually lost. Stats is finally expanding to that top right corner. The Liberator doesn't have advanced ballistics, but Stats doesn't even have a Stargate, so there's no easy way to hunt it down when it's sitting back there. Well, I gotta say, it feels like Stats tried some of the Colossi. He tried the Disruptors. He's running out of ideas and he's running out of units here. He needs the Disruptors to land, but they're just not finding it. The gateway units just, the colloquial term, I believe this is how they describe it in the textbooks I read, is they really suck. Okay, they suck really hard. Because you can warp them in anywhere, which gives them some strength, but without the ability to deal with the critical mass damage of this bio army. The Marines, the Marauders, and the Ghosts for supply, and just in terms of army value. are, if you don't break them up with the disruptors, the DPS is oppressive, as we can see here. And now, Oliveira has taken the gold. Oh god. The Widowmines now gracing this base with their presence. You weren't invited here. We don't care. Widowmine's the kind of people to reply yes to a Facebook invite and also show up, which is weird. Okay, I'm not sure that was the burn I intended to be. Widowmines also use Facebook in current year. There you go. There's the burn. Yeah. Well, this base taking out. Stats trying to intercept. Looks like a decent disruptor hit over here. DT's warped in. Most of the units cleaned up. Stats. Well, he picks off a couple more medevacs. Oliveira has not been expanding very rapidly, but he does have access to that bottom left corner. Widowmine connects. Be careful of your own DTs. Gets a double kill on the mines. Drives back some more of the army. Another shot. Meanwhile, Stats hitting the orbital. And another shot. Wanders in. We're looking for more. And Stats is starting to make some real progress. As, well, he's running out of detection here. But the Widowmines don't actually take out the whole army. And Oliveira is bleeding units. Disruptors, though. Oh, no, they get a little too far forward. And now, the troop of zealots, such as they are, kind of chasing things down. Stalkers, well, mines are recharging here. And blinks back. Unfortunate, though. Mines hit him on the way out. Not again. Not this one again. Anything but this mine. This mine doesn't deserve it. Okay, so it doesn't get it. The Stalkers will die to the Marauders anyways. Yeah, Stats hasn't really... It keeps feeling like maybe he should tech up. And then you look at Oliveira's Mines, Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs and say, Oliveira, have you tried higher tech units? To which Oliveira responds, why? Meanwhile, are there still any Liberators on the map? No. But there's not quite enough bile here. Fires off the Ruptors, looks around the corner. Kills some of it. Fadeaway shots end up killing just Zealots. Planetary may hold, but at what cost? The Bio Army coming in from both sides. Not sure who's actually getting the better end of this fight. More Zealots streaming in. Chaos ensues. And 21 SCVs, and he kills the Planetary. So, at the end of the day, after 225 Zealots and 20 Disruptors have been expended, and that seems to just be the beginning, Stats has taken out a very key base and has limited Oliveira to, like, single-digit mineral patches. That, well, I don't know how much Stats actually has going for him at this point. Yeah, he's not doing much better. The war of attrition continues. And for the very first time, High Templar. Are we going for Archons? I can't remember the last time I saw a ghost, which just means their cloaking devices have gotten very good. Oliveira's lost 16 ghosts, but it's been like 5-8 minutes since he last built one. Disruptors continuing production. One shot, that one Disruptor that he didn't kill in the last fight, coming back to help out, but that's a lot of bio. Archons show up, but oh my god, that's a lot of bio. Disruptor, though, big connection. Blink Stalkers trying to body block out. More Disruptors wandering up into the fight. The camera wandering off. That's how crazy things are getting. Tries to curve into the Widowmines. The Widowmines fight right back. This would be the perfect time for Caduceus Reactor. Almost hits his own Archon. Medevac's starting to run out of energy. Stats is fighting it out. He's starting to run out of units. And meanwhile, he's expanding to the bottom left. This is a bit awkward. And the orbital is not even at full HP. Oliveira realizes there's still a base to the north he has yet to expand to. God, the supplies keep getting lower and lower as the income starts to dip precipitously. There's a handful of mineral patches left, assuming you can fit approximately 12 to 15 mineral patches in your hand. Disruptor shot through the center. This is an incredibly difficult position for Stats to fight into, but the Disruptor hits a Marauder. I don't think that's enough, but he gets a connection on the center mass. The Marauder's pinned up against the edge. The Stalker's on the run. The last Archon fighting. Well, he kills some. We're still going. There's a DT back here. Oliveira down to 100 supply. He's long distance mining. The DT. Oliveira may have just used his last scan, checking for whether Stats has that base. Now, the probes are long distance mining as well. Stats, I mean, he doesn't really need all these probes, but there's no reason to lose them. The medevacs are almost entirely out of energy. Oliveira never got +3 armor. Just pointing that one out. The medevacs are wandering in because they're entirely out of energy. The Disruptor shot gets okay. Almost gets the last medevac. The long distance mining. Is there detection here? I guess. Kills another zealot. There's an observer. Here we go. We're down to 70 supply and dipping. It feels like my IQ is following suit closely. The probes. There's almost no mining for either side. The incomes are dropping into the hundreds. First a hand fires a Ruptor, gets a couple Marines, Buddy around the corner yet again. Stats with the Blade Stalkers, gets the orbit. Oh no, but the repair. But Oliveira's out of money to repair. Here come the rest of the Widow Mines. I think he just selected all army. The Disruptor, 3-4 more seconds. Oliveira's chasing it down. He tags it. He wants to fire it. The Disruptor. Don't kill the damn Disruptor. What the hell are you doing? He saves it with the medevac. He fires off the shot. Turns it on a Widow Mine. That's something. Oliveira's down to 40. What is happening? Widow Mine takes out. Oh no, it takes out the Observer. But he walks into another minefield. That one Disruptor. But the mines may save the day. The orbital is burning, and he doesn't have enough minerals to repair it. He's spending too many minerals repairing. He's trying to get the medevacs back. That one, the Ruptor who lived. The Widow Mines are on the wrong side of history. The mines are trying to reposition. How has it come to this? That's his long distance mining. Oh. And the Stalkers are all bruised. The Disruptor's still alive. And I think he's done it. No, oh my God, you need to leave. You cannot lose that Observer Stats. A scan. He sees Oliveira. Oh my God. Kicking and screaming. A brutal, absolute bloodthirsty game. 100,000 resources obliterated in 30 minutes. What a game. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know how we follow that up. But I mean, that may be one of the closest yet. Now, both players truly made some mistakes. They got locked into these unit compositions, but it's those games that sometimes turn out to be the most entertaining. And at the end of the day, Oliveira not quite able to build off the value he gained. And Stats. Wow. Apparently the shield nowadays, the shield that he's chosen, is just endless supply of gateway units, just continually beating Oliveira, throwing them into the fray. The amount of disruptors that got away with that much HP. Stats predicted either a proxy or an engineering bay block. Now, I don't think that's going to stop the engineering bay block here, but... Oh my God. Well, it certainly makes it less effective. Ugh. He's going to be able to deal with it in a relatively timely manner. I'm still recovering. I don't know. I may never recover. Oliveira never got the range livers. He never even got +3 armor. I'm sure he's kicking himself. I don't know if he noticed by the end, but would +1 armor on however many hundreds of Marines and Marauders have made a difference? And that was a prime... The most upsetting part for me is that was a prime opportunity to show off the new, old new Caduceus reactor upgrade. The double energy regen on medevacs. But unfortunately, never even got the fusion core. It's so easy, like, it's so easy to get locked into those unit combat. I mean, Stats was doing it as well. I don't know if Stats determined that was going to be the endgame composition, like he was just going to wield an economic hammer and beat Oliveira over the head with it. But at some point, it's too late to go for anything else. Especially that map doesn't have too many bases to work with, as we saw and how hotly contested they were. Whoa. Well, the Hellions are spotted. Will Stats realize that those Hellions are quite suspicious? There's a proxy starport. He's gonna do a proxy Hellion drop. Try to get in before Blink is even close to finishing, and just roast those probes. How's he gonna do that underwater? Don't ask stupid questions. All right. Nanites. Oh no. Well, Stats has his suspicions. Here come the Hellions. There's nothing in the main but this Stalker, and that's not going to be remotely enough. Splits the probes. Adepts come back. He picks them back up into the medevac. 5 probes so far. Shield battery on time here. But, well, doesn't quite get the targeting. Honestly, not going amazing. It definitely could be worse. Well, there's still 2. 7. Stats is handling this about as perfectly as you could. Just like the NGV bot. Gets 9 of them. The medevac did get out. Not great, not terrible. Definitely could have been better. What a maddening. Well, the blink is on the way. Stats gonna use it once again, find himself with plenty of army, but unlikely to do game-ending damage. So instead, he's just gonna expand. If you got map control, and you know that they're very unlikely to move out, why not expand? It serves Stats well enough before charge on the way. There was a lot of mining time lost as well. Oh my god, he's gonna use that. He's gonna use the Adepts. Oh, what a cute move. Alright, Oliveira probably not realizing until it was too late what he was doing by letting the Adepts in. The Stalkers, they get the medevac, but now they want to get out. How many gates we got back at home? Only 2. Which is quite concerning. He's getting 2 more gates now. As we're closing in on that triple threat. Well, he just started combat shielding +1, but I don't think we're waiting for +1 this time. Yeah, Oliveira likely to go as soon as those 2 medevacs are completed. As, ideally hitting a timing before any follow-up tech to the blink. Charge Colossi. You know. Widowmine's concussive. I guess Oliveira's gonna wait. He's going to wait for all those upgrades to complete. Or actually, the medevacs feel quite late. Yeah, I got it all done. There's gonna be a Colossus, though, thankfully. Stats actually cutting probes here in order to make sure he gets the gate count up. That is the hardest part, is making sure you get those gateways online before you need them. Because you need to get multiple warp-ins in order to defend a lot of these 2-base pushes. Stalkers are back, but there's a tank, I think, slightly out of vision range. Ooh, ow, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, any dreams of delaying the push died, I think, with the second tank shot that killed a Stalker there. And here comes Oliveira. He's got a couple Widow Mines, plenty of bio underneath. Charge is done for stats. The scan. Well, actually, the Colossus just steps right into it. He's busy trying to blink his way forward. But one Colossus is not particularly dangerous. Oh my god, the observer placement is so perfect. Yeah, he definitely saw it. Okay. Widow Mine drop is headed out. Yeah, it's very clear here. The Stalkers are waiting. In fact, he's trying to hunt it. So he's seen it coming. But unfortunately... Well, you can't cover everything. The medevacs can fly. The Widow Mines. He's gonna just wander in and blink away. Deals with them. But there is an armory done. Oh my. Yeah, he brought the observer back. Annoying, but not deadly. He diffuses the mines with violence. Best way, in my opinion. But wait, there's more. Mines will run. Gets a Stalker. No, be careful! Oh, he's retargeting. He's retargeting the mine, delaying the shot. But here come the probes back. A scan. Another mine drop is attempted. He spots the army. The observers have not... The observer needs to come back towards the main. Meanwhile, Oliveira is setting up his attack on the low ground here, while Stats is busy dealing with the... No, he pulled the Stalkers away! No, it's only one probe. The Zealots are hit by the mines. More mines. The Bio Army's fighting. Meanwhile, well, the Bio Army repositioned. The minefield, the observers aren't here, unfortunately. And there's still a mine in the main. He can see it, but that doesn't mean he can stop it. He needs more observers here. But they come out of the Robo. The Robo, oh, he's trying to drop out, but he eats a hit onto the Colossi. Another hit onto the Zealots. And he just doesn't have the detection here. And the Warp Prism will be chased down, and GG Stats just taps it out. Not willing to play more of this Minecraft experience. Not able to get the progress he was looking for, and it's 1-1. Oliveira really leaning onto those mines. They support a surprising amount of weight. Definitely, while they weren't, I think, the straw that broke the camel's back, they certainly distracted the camel for long enough for the Terran army to siege up and start shelling it. Which, even the most well-shielded camel is going to struggle in such a situation. And that ties us up at 1-1. Where are you going? Oliveira is not willing to let Stats get off to a standard start. As he's already figured out, well, I mean, like, it still wasn't the easiest game for Stats on Golden Aura, let's be very clear, but oh my god. The probe is looking for the SC. He knows Stats knows the pathing of the SCV for the NG Bay block, because NG Bay block has quickly become very common, as it helps with any sort of early follow-up. If you can delay their expansion, or even better, get them to expand somewhere else. Like Oliveira, even though he barely taps it here, he deems it worth it to get the NG Bay block, even though it is the weakest NG Bay block he could possibly get. So clearly, delaying the expansion is a high priority. in order to increase the effectiveness of usually factory units following it up. We saw there, like, just getting the Hellions in. Honestly, he could have done so much more with those Hellions. Stats dealt with it perfectly, but Oliveira has been struggling to really land a lot of damage. Stats is very good at absorbing it. It's just couldn't quite bring it together in that last game. Reactor finishing up. It's going to be an adept chronoed out. Are we going to see Twilight again? The Cyclone and the prevalence of just the factory units in the early game has essentially made... Well, it looks like he's not going Blink, but has essentially made Blink, or something resembling Blink, almost a requirement in order to have any sort of stability in the early game. Of course, there's always risks you can take. And it looks like Stats is just doing a straight-up gateway all-in. He's just gonna slap down a pylon, I think. What? No, what? No. Oh, I thought he was gonna build a Nexus. Like, he was acting like it was gonna be a Nexus, but he didn't have nearly enough money for it, so... He's going to try to punch Oliveira in the nose before Oliveira gives him a wet willy with his medevacs. Whether it be with Widow Mines or Hellions. Or both, even worse. Not the ideal adept mic. We're trying to soften things up over here. Is that a spot? Is that a spylot? A spotter pylon? Is that all that is? No. He's warping in Stalkers. I'm just kind of surprised he's doing it like that. A Cyclone? Oh my god! I've not... Stats... Genius. I've not seen anyone use that. I didn't even realize. There's a little vision blocker there. Stats standing directly in it was able to break the... well, make it so he didn't have the vision. So Stats just gonna walk up. And there's really just nothing here. A handful of Marines, the Widow Mine. But taking the initiative, 4 Stalkers, enough to one-shot the Marines. That Widow Mine looking juicy as well. If he can get it. Oh, he really doesn't want to let it burrow. He's trying to defuse the situation, but now he's behind the mine lines. He's not going to have nearly as fine of a time. As time is drawing. He takes it as a sign to like and subscribe. Well, he's just running him around in circles here. The Adepts could circumvent the mine as well. He's bringing him down. He's down to 1 Marine. But here comes some more Adepts. The wheel turns. Wow, that 1 Marine actually beat the Stalker. Siege tank does what it does best. Sieges. Doesn't tank so well, actually. That's a bit of a misnomer there. Adepts on the run. And, well... I think it was, well, certainly it was worth it. 47 to 35 workers. Oh, Stats forgot about the mine. Oh, no, he comes back in to get it, but then they forgot about the tank. That makes it a little less worth, but 49 probes to 37 SCVs, and he severely delayed Oliveira's production. Absolute. Oh, Liberator just turns around. There are already Stalkers there, so that's fine. More Prism here. He's got a couple of Adepts and a couple Stalkers in there. Liberator spotted by the Observer. Nothing to spot for the Prism. There's a tank in the main. Just barely out of range. Gets a shot. But he can get behind the mineral line. Gonna continue delaying the mining. And this has been so effective so far. Sieging up a new base, but it's not actually done yet. So the Stalkers can get around behind it. While Oliveira's dealing with the Warp Prism in the main. And Stats is establishing a lot of map control. A lot of map vision yet again. Just having a good time of it so far. And this is, well, very important for being able to take the fights he needs to beat the Terran army. Multiple observers stacked up over there. A sign of stress. The other observer, they value social distancing. That's why they're cloaked and like to watch. Oliveira, though, triple threat finishing up. This will be his best opportunity to break out and get some damage done. I don't think he really has... How many medevacs? Only one medevac. He doesn't really have the units to execute the same kind of push he was able to pull off last game. He doesn't have the starport unit count. He doesn't have the tank count. He just has a bunch of bio, which is good. But stats already has +1 done. He has charge. How many gateways? 6 gates. And building a Colossus. Very important. It's like one adept one down in the center here. Gonna load up a Widow Mine drop. Widow Mine drop headed in. Stats. Well, he's gonna fight the army head on. The charge lots drag out a mine head onto the... oh, no, 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 no. 13, 15 probes. Well, he'll get the medevac. And he's got an armory done. Oliveira is so good about bringing that armor. And just like that, the only saving grace here is that the third command center is not done. So good about having that armory. The armory makes it so much harder because the observers, that gotta be built out of the robos. Same as any unit you really want to defend against mass bio. So you have to choose. Do you want detection? Or do you want units that can actually fight? Meanwhile, a scan drop from the orbital command. Spots the army headed across. We're going into something of a base trade, it looks like. Optimistically landing that command center. Somebody took down the rock. I think Oliveira took down the rocks here. Which, oh wait, there's no rocks there. I'm dumb. I see rocks everywhere. Dustin Browder. Give me strength. The Widow Mines. He's decided to sacrifice a few of the zealots. Better than sacrificing all of them. The observers. Under the scan, not being targeted, thankfully. Gets a full medevac on the way. Meanwhile, the bio army is gutting the production. Okay, so there is a recall potential at the third base. Not sure what happened over here, but the probes are on the run. Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Only gets 2, could be worse. The probes are actually running towards the other side of the map. Oliveira has started lifting his buildings. There's still the base to recall. If he's going to recall, he must do it right now. Well, looks like he's not gonna bother with it. We're going to an all-out base trade. The orbitals on the way across the map. Oh my god, here we go. Stats is expanding to Oliveira's natural. Well, Stats' army is way better. But how many observers? The entire base is being cleared out. The observers... oh my god, we're just a full-on base trade here. What? Does he think he's that far behind? Honestly, I'm not. Well, there's still 3 +2 +1 extended thermal lens colossi. And Stats is mining again. Alright. Maybe... yeah. Okay, I agree. I had to take another stock of it myself. But Stats actually takes it 2-1. A hectic game. But a hectic series. My god. What a roller coaster that was. But Stats has returned. The Shield of Ire. Forced into a much more aggressive posture to achieve victory. But achieve victory he does against the current world champion. Oliveira's Minecraft. Oh, Oliveira had 0 SCVs at the end. That'll do it. You can't rebuild anything. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again to the World Team League and Kung Fu Cup for putting on these amazing matches and getting these great players motivated to play. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I made your day a little bit better. It'd be awesome if you have the means of motivation. Check out the Patreon. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and of course all the info in the description. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Stay chill.